Monterey, a town nestled on the rugged Pacific coast in central California, first known as being the center of the sardine packing industry, but since 1950, for 1 week in August, it would become the center of the automotive universe, attracting the likes of 23-year-old Phil Hill, who won the first running of the Del Monte Trophy, and the 10,000 fans lining the 1.7-mile racetrack running through the streets intersecting 17-mile drive. The event was the main attraction of what has become the internationally celebrated Car Week. For just $15, you too could compete in the Pebble Beach road races. Tragically, a death in 1956 led to its cancellation, but also spawned the creation of what we now know as Laguna Seca. After a 50-year hiatus, racing resumed during Car Week, with the event known as the Monterey Historics. However, gone are the days where you could race for just $15, and that is where Andrea Galetti from ISSIMI Italia comes in.
My name is Andrea Galetti. I joined ISSIMI in 2017. I started in '86 in Lamborghini. In 1990 I went to Ferrari, where I joined the Formula One team in a very nice period until 2002, where I helped Ferrari to set up F1 Clienti and X6 program. From there I tried to understand a bit more how to work with customers. That was something that I never did before. I left Ferrari for a period of time, joined Pagani on research and development and after sale, and there was another experience of working with customers. So with this background, I thought that my support for ISSIMI was mainly for customers. They love to spend time at the track.
This is lovely.
This weekend I was at the racetrack in Laguna Seca to support Kevin Guida on racing a vintage car. We did already an experience together in Monaco last year when he raced a 1977 Lotus, and a few months ago he decided to do Laguna Seca as well. So we choose a different car for this track. We choose a 1982 Lotus driven by Elio De Angelis back in the days, and we did also the pre-reunion to work a little bit on the setup and reliability. We had some problem, but I think at the end things went well. He was very happy. But you have to really go through every detail to get this car, because you come here and you say, okay, he's driving around, but in reality he's not driving around. People are driving 120, so which is an important lap time, and these cars are under stress, so you have to really check everything. Otherwise you say, okay, this broke, okay, put another one, but then I think these activities are beautiful because you can see vintage car racing all together. Is a fantastic spectacle, fantastic show. You can hear the sound of that engine. Every car has different livery, different style, different type of interpretation of the rule that were back in the days. It's not easy to get used to a car like this, which requires a lot of driving skill because of the manual gearbox. Everything is like managed by the driver, so you have to be careful not over-revving the engine. You have to be careful not breaking the gearbox. There are many things that you have to go through. We had also the great opportunity to have Eddie Irvine here, that I worked with when I was in Ferrari, to support a little bit us on suggestion and detail. It was pretty fun things.
To bring you up to speed, that's Eddie Irvine, in a post-race interview with Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen. During his 10 years in F1, he raced for Jordan, Ferrari, and Jaguar, racking up an impressive 26 podiums and 4 wins. He prompted anger and frustration out of Senna and respect and support from Schumacher. He was outspoken, controversial, and remains one of the legends of F1.
Go around. It really is so much more to see and watch. And a Formula One. Okay, the modern Formula One guys go around there, it must be insane. The forces, you can see the forces, but there's no beauty.
But the sound and the beauty of seeing all these guys.
Well, and you can see too how visceral it is, how analog it is, how you know, just there's no assist at all. You're just going to struggle the whole time.
Is much
I mean, that's the joy of driving.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? It's like a fighter jet.
I mean, it's fun to sit in it. Look at the viewpoint. It's fun to sit in, dude. You're going to be blown away how far forward.
Well, the early Formula Fords were like this. Whenever I was doing Formula Ford, 84, 85.
Right?
Actually, this is normal. It feels normal. It doesn't feel.
I mean, just look where your feet are, where the wheels are. You know?
Alright, give it. You know what? Super comfy. And 10,000, that's what you're limited to?
Yeah, this has actually got a spark box set to 10 too, but 10,000.
And what was it back in the day?
They said they could run them in race pace, like around 11.
Oh, so you're nearly there.
Yeah, and they said in qualifying they'd maybe do 11.4, but it was, you know, a few laps.
That steering wheel's gorgeous.
They say now they tune the motors though, so the peak power's at 10, not 11. And as a result, you get more torque down in the low and the mid, so it's probably better to drive.
Just wanted to know how the car was sitting in it and what brings you here.
No, the car was amazing. It's the first time I sat in a JPS Lotus. That was one of my favorite cars back in the day. I was a huge Lotus fan, huge Ronnie Peterson fan, Andretti fan. Super comfortable, very surprised. If I wasn't so sensible, I would like to drive it.
5-minute warning has been given for race.
How is it compared to the cars you're driving in?
They're the same until you start them and get moving, you know. That was actually probably slightly more comfortable because most of the cars in my day, your feet were very, very high. Okay. So your back was really low and you had a lot of leverage on your back, which was never nice. These here, your feet are down where your back is, so the leverage isn't so bad. So more comfortable, to be honest, back then.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
See, I knew the answers.
Yeah, and you guys used to work together, correct?
Yeah. Here's my gearbox engineer back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Reliable?
Sorry?
Reliable?
Let's not talk about 96. Let's not talk about 96.
Don't ask that question.
No, 96? No, 96. 97, 98, 99.
Yeah, a little bit.
96? Let's not talk about it. Yeah, you don't see a family vibe now. It seemed very close before. Now, when I go there, it seems a lot of parts.
Yeah, there is different name posts, certain
Corporate structure.
More politics?
Yeah. There was always politics.
But
we were lucky because you had John Todd. There was the umbrella protecting us from the politics.
there you go.
He had to deal with that bullshit.
That's all. That for me was the key.
Thank you.
After a great time hanging out with Eddie Irvine, it was time for Kevin to get prepped for his race.
There's an old saying now that, you know, pull them tight. When you think you've got them tight, pull them tighter again. Yeah.
Well, we've got an interesting group of different cars out here and some really interesting drivers driving them and pedaling them. We've got quite a few Tyrrells, we've got a Lotus, a couple of Marches. Here we go then. Formula One, Group 11 or Reunion Class 11, 66 to 85. The roar, the sound, the beautiful sound of what Formula One should sound like, and I don't think many people would argue with me. Just a political point, just to start us off. And they're just as equal to any of us who've been around it for a long time, but having to explain how McLaren and Lotus and Williams were
all started off. And, you know, in the early days, they used to haul things around Europe on trailers behind Bedford vans. And old buses. Just go for race
So he loved it, and I'm looking forward to do more events with him, and maybe support other customers to spend time on the track, because this is the best place and the safest place where you can enjoy your car, you can improve your driving skill and have fun.